Hi guys, Miss Curry here. I wanted to take just a couple minutes and share with you a couple of points regarding your 2 writing assignments for this week. You have your Chapter 4 activity, which is through Canvas, and I want you to notice that it's 6 questions. These 6 sentences you're going to be rewriting, and they even give you tips at the end about what they're wanting you to revise for. Also, if you are watching the pre-recorded lectures, which are very helpful, these 6 types of corrections are going to be noted in that lecture. It is in the PowerPoint, it's in your text, and these 6 sentences are basically working through all of the writing errors and corrections that they're discussing in Chapter 4. And so if you'll go back and watch that pre-recorded lecture, or even if you'll just go to this section that talks about UView and conversational and positive messages, it will help tremendously. But basically here in number 1, what they're wanting you to do is revise and change it to UView. You'll notice it is not in the audience's perspective. It's not about what's in it for the audience here. It's about what's in it for the company and what the company is doing. And they're using that pronoun we. We are taking the proactive steps. You want to change that so the perspective is all about what the audience is receiving and what that customer is receiving. So instead you could say something like, you will be issued, and then move forward from there. Number 2 is about using conversational information, getting rid of anything that is not necessary. And a lot of that front lead in, that's a very long lead in, a lot of that's not necessary. You can cut that out. Number 3 is all about what they can't do. You want to change that to what you can do. We can resume your construction once what happens. Number 4 is about biased language, and so we want to look at that, and you'll notice that the subject there is an employee, that's singular, and they do have a singular pronoun referring back to that antecedent, his, but it's biased, and so you're going to either have to add a pronoun to that, or you're going to need to change your subject to plural and then put a plural pronoun in. And so you can take care of that with that. And then number 5, again, just wanting to use plain language. So get that dictionary out, figure out what some of those terms and some of those words mean, and use a more plain language word for that, vocab word for that. And then number 6, simply just asking you to pick a more precise and vigorous verb there. Moving on to 4.7 is the second one that we're asking you to do. This is already an email format. It says that you can do it a number of ways. You can list things. I actually think it's easier, and I think that students get more out of it from a rewrite. So I'm asking you to do a rewrite, but you're not reinventing the wheel. You don't have to start over from scratch. Use what they have here. You want to leave it in the same format, email format. If you will notice, there's a lot of language in here that makes it very negative. It's not very courteous. It's not very concise. Those are the things we're wanting to take out, and we're wanting to make it a little more concise. So you'll notice even in the opening where it says, this is something I hate to do, already starting off with kind of a negative term. Let's get rid of that. Let's kind of change that opening intro. That look, people, you must do better. Those are the things that we're trying to eliminate. Even in the second paragraph, because none of you are dense. So we want to have a kinder, more polite, more concise intro. I love that they use bullet points here. You want to keep those bullet points, but we can condense those. I'll let you do the second and third bullet on your own, but I'll give you an example on that first bullet. Instead of doing this long, you cannot accurately evaluate an employee's performance unless you have a system. You could just start by saying, have a system to measure an employee's performance, and take out that negative. That's why the obvious very first, and just say first comma, develop performance standards. And then the next question, the next statement, could just be these standards and goals should be shared with the employee in writing. So there's a lot of ways that we can condense that bullet. Leave it in bullet form, but then we could condense it into just 2 or 3 smaller, more concise, more friendly, more positive language there. And then do the same for the second and third, and then, of course, the conclusion. If you still have questions, hopefully this helped. Obviously, going and looking at the pre-recorded lecture that's available in the module helps tremendously. Like I said, it talks about these things, about concise language, about courteous language, the things that you're seeing even on the previous assignment that we just looked at. Go through, look at that PowerPoint. Hopefully it will help you. But if you're still having questions once you watch that and go through this video, please by all means reach out via text, email, or call me, and I'm happy to help in any way I can.